Now at 6, a teenager is now charged with murdering a Powell girl. We'll have a look at the case against him and what happens next.
Plus, some critics call it voter intimidation. Others say it's following the law, the new addition to ballots that could impact voter turnout this primary.
Linares makes it. One Knoxville prevails.
And One Knox Soccer Club is off to a hot start this season and now has pulled off the biggest win in the team's history. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2026.
10 News is sponsored by Quality Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Thursday. We're glad you're here. It's like a little bit of haze outside.
Yeah, I mean, the wildfire smokes that we've been seeing coming into our area, but also some nice warm temperatures.
I mean, warm again today, ladies, with some of that haze that we have in place. We don't have an air quality alert, but if you do have a sensitive respiratory issue, again, just kind of limit the amount of time that you spend outside. We are going to finally see some relief from this, though, tonight, potentially, as we do have the chance for some rain moving into the region. 61 degrees this morning, a partly cloudy sky. Look off to our west. Here it comes, folks. Just makes me so happy to even be talking about some of this rain. So we are starting off this morning really kind of similar to yesterday. The one other thing that's really nice is that we do not have at this moment an elevated fire risk in place across East Tennessee. With that being said, please don't let your guard down. We still have breezy conditions today. We still have dry soil conditions. So the concern is still there. We're going to continue to highlight temperatures today back into the 80s. We'll have details in your future cast and show you some of that rain coming up. Heather and Brittany.
All right, Rebecca, thank you. A Campbell County grand jury indicted a former La Follette police officer on charges of official misconduct and influencing a witness. Authorities say in January 2024, Isaiah Lloyd concealed his identity, broke into a home, and vandalized the property. Investigators say when the homeowner confronted Lloyd, he threw a homemade explosive device at them and left. The DA says Lloyd also influenced a witness to withhold information of an investigation happening around the same time. Lloyd is scheduled to return to court in May. Lloyd was investigated previously for inappropriately touching a woman during a traffic stop in 2017. He was working as a Tennessee Highway Patrol trooper at the time. He quit before he could be fired and was suspended for 2 years by the Police Officer and Training Commission, which certifies officers. You can find the full story right now on our website.
A teenager is charged with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of a 13-year-old girl. A grand jury indicted Malachi Harris in the deadly attack of Savannah Copeland in October of 2024. This happened late at night off a popular trail near the Broadacre subdivision in Powell. Court testimony revealed that Savannah left her house to meet Harris and his younger brother so she could get a vape. The autopsy showed the young girl was then stabbed more than 90 times. Harris was moved from juvenile court to adult court earlier this year. Last month, the judge declined to alter the terms of his $4 million bond.
Early voting is officially underway in East Tennessee. In Lenoir City, voters are deciding whether to raise the city's sales tax. The proposal would raise the rate to the state's maximum of 2.75%. City leaders estimate it would generate an extra $4 million for the city. A similar tax increase was proposed back in 2024, but it was voted down. Leaders then restructured it to benefit Parks and Rec rather than schools and the senior center. City leaders say they hope people will see the increase as a big benefit for the community.
It's basically on $100 of goods in Lenoir City, it would be 75 extra cents paid on the bill. I think is how the math works out. So, you know, it's kind of a small investment in a bigger, bigger improvement in our area.
City leaders say the goal is to improve people's overall health and give the community space to be together. If the increases pass, the community center would include a gym, an indoor track, and more. 2.75% is the highest a city can set its sales tax. Knoxville proposed a similar sales increase last year, but it failed.
In Knox County, several high-profile jobs are on the ballot this year, including mayor, sheriff, and county clerk. In Tennessee, voters do not register by party, but when they go to the polls, they will see language saying they need to be honest about their party affiliation. Voters will have to sign off on their affiliation and declare allegiance to that party. Tennessee has had party-based language in its primary law since 1972, but this is the first time it's been directly in front of voters. Political analysts say this language can be intimidating and confusing for voters.
A voter should not worry about will they be disqualified from voting in a primary because they are not, quote, bona fide. There is no such definition as it relates.
It might lead some people not to cross over who would otherwise cross over. That could be an outcome, but that would be the main impact.
Supporters say they are taking existing law and making sure voters see it before they cast a ballot. Election coordinators do add that if you intentionally lie on any election document, that could be a misdemeanor or a felony.
Every weekday on our streaming show, 10 at 2, Robin Wilhoit sits down to talk about the biggest stories of the day. On our latest episode, she talked about how candidates reach voters and campaigning money with senior investigative producer John North.
I used to get a ton of mailers.
Yes.
And obviously, they would pick up right before early voting started. And that's fine. I like them. They're great visual aids that you can wave around on Inside Tennessee or here with you and me. I haven't gotten a single mailer from any candidate yet. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing some yard signs. And as you said, I'm seeing a whole lot of like social media oriented ads.
You can watch our full conversation right now on WBIR Plus. 10 News at 2 streams every weekday afternoon and on demand. Download on your TV and watch for free. 6:06 now. We check on the forecast. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, everybody. We're giving you a glimpse over your Market Square camera where you can still see some of the chalk from the chalk walk that we had this last weekend. Enjoy it today, folks, because there's a really good chance that with the rain showers moving through tonight, it's probably not going to look the same come tomorrow morning. We do have a sunrise 7:01, sunset tonight 8:10. Pretty quiet conditions here across East Tennessee as we do have, again, a mixture of cloud cover as well as some clear skies. And folks, we have the chance for rain tonight. I mean, like some pretty awesome rain moving into the region. This could provide, again, some nice moisture heading into the early hours of your Friday. We'll trend a little bit drier as we go into your Friday afternoon and into your Saturday, and then another chance for rain arrives as we go into the weekend. Right now, just saying the word rain. It's pretty nice, folks. We'll have much more coming up as we look ahead to your extended forecast. We do want to get you outside with a check of your TDOT cameras. Drive times in the green as you step outside early this morning with no major slowdowns. So far, everything seems to be smooth and steady as we look at your drive times across the region. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. A new Tennessee law passed this session to protect people who stutter during traffic stops. It works to alert officers early on about their condition. The law is an expansion of the 2021 Precious Cargo Act, which allows people with disabilities to get a medical condition designation in the Tennessee Vehicle Title and Registration System database. First responders will be able to see that before they approach someone. Senators say it's important in making sure situations don't escalate when it's not necessary.
If someone is stuttering or they're really having a hard time finding their words, they won't be assumed to be intoxicated or, doing something they're not supposed to do when this is actually how they naturally present.
To register, Tennesseans will have to fill out an application and bring a note from a medical professional to the DMV. The sponsor of the bill says registry and information on it is private and secure. The law goes into effect July 1st.
Today, Tennessee state senators are set to vote on a bill to ban a controversial over-the-counter substance known as gas station heroin. Leaders with Metro Drug Coalition say that kratom acts like a stimulant or an opioid. They add that oftentimes people don't really know what it is and assume that it is safe because it's sold in stores. The House voted 78-9 to pass that bill that would ban the use, sale, and distribution of the drug. But again, the Senate is set to vote on the bill today. If it does pass, it will head to Governor Lee's desk for his signature, and it would take effect on July 1st.
With Earth Day right around the corner, some people may try to up their recycling game, but there are a few misconceptions when it comes to recycling certain materials in Knoxville. Glass is recyclable in Knoxville, but it's not accepted through the city's curbside recycling program.
Instead, people have to take it to drop-off locations or pay for a separate pickup service. Sarah Ottman is joining us in studio now to explain why. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, Brittany. Heather. Glass used to be a material that you could recycle in your free bins provided by the city, but in 2017 that changed. Now, in order to recycle glass materials, you must take them yourself to recycling bins or pay a company to pick it up from your house. Recycling only works if there is a company that actually wants that material and can turn it into something new. If no company nearby can use a material, then it can't realistically be recycled in that area. In Knoxville, there are manufacturers across the southeast that buy those materials, but rules are specific so they can still be usable.
Recycling, it's a market-driven business, so as technology and markets change, so does the list of things we accept or don't accept. Glass is going to break into these tiny little pieces. It's going to mix with all the other materials we accept, so your plastics, your paper, and there's just not good technology right now to be able to get those bits of glass out of those products.
If you want to recycle glass and can't drive it to the City of Knoxville's drop-off center, there are other options. Fourth and Glass is Knoxville's only local curbside business, but you do have to pay extra for that service. Glass isn't the only thing causing confusion when it comes to recycling. Coming up in the next half hour, I'll break down more of what you need to know.
Sarah, thank you. We get to your national stories in 5 minutes. A major win for concert goers. We break down the verdict in the case for Ticketmaster's parent company.
Because I know that there's going to be greatness, the great things going to happen in my life as it is for everyone else's.
Plus, a coffee shop at one school is serving up more than just caffeine. At 6:17, we see how it's giving students a shot at success.
And although it's going to be another warm day across East Tennessee, we're watching the potential for rain showers arriving tonight. We'll break down your futurecast and have more on these rain chances coming up. Good morning, everybody. We're giving you a glimpse of your 3-day forecast. And as you heard me just talk about, we have the potential for rain in our forecast. It makes me so happy. Most of the day today is going to be relatively dry, so we're not going to mention rain really more so until later on this evening and going into the overnight hours. But just saying the words, it feels so great. We do have the chance for some spotty showers again early tomorrow morning, and then Saturday night and into your Sunday, we do it all over again. This rain is so needed. We are fairly quiet this morning, although we do not have the elevated fire risk across our direct viewing area, folks. Please don't let your guard down today. We still have breezier conditions. We still have dry soil temperature, dry soil conditions. And so, I mean, like, you still can't just go all out. Just be very cautious again. I'm also interested because the Storm Prediction Center is putting that level 1 risk over us here across East Tennessee. The risk for severe weather relatively low, but we could have some gustier winds with some of these showers that push through late tonight. So timing for this likely going to be after many of us are in bed into the overnight hours, bringing in some moderate to heavy rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, and this could even carry on as we go into the early hours of your Friday. Friday is going to be fairly dry. We'll see rain showers start to increase as we get closer to the weekend. Saturday into Sunday, We have another cold front that's going to be sliding through. So dry for the most part on Saturday, still really warm. Overnight into your Sunday, we'll see some light to moderate rain. And then on the back side of this system, folks, we trend much cooler. Highs next week, getting into the 60s. We'll stay into the middle to upper 60s for both your Sunday and Monday, and then into your Tuesday and Wednesday, we're back into the 70s. We're going to transition now and get you out on the roads with a check of your TDOT cameras. Drive times sitting in the green so far with no major slowdowns. This is a look at I-75 at Merchants, where everything looks to be smooth and steady. Heather and Brittany will send things back to you.
Rebecca, thank you. It's 6:15, and we turn now to your national headlines. The Senate has failed to pass a war powers resolution once again. The vote would have put limits on President Trump's ability to launch future military action against Iran without congressional approval. It failed with a vote of 47 to 52. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky was the only Republican to vote in favor of the measure, while Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman was the only Democrat to vote against it.
Next week, the Trump administration will issue refunds to American importers for the billions of dollars the companies paid in tariffs. Those refunds could total around $127 billion. This all comes after companies filed thousands of lawsuits against the tariff policy. Trade attorneys say the Trump administration could still file an appeal.
A jury found entertainment giant Live Nation unfairly created a monopoly in the ticketing market. Live Nation is the parent company of Ticketmaster. The ruling won't immediately bring relief for concertgoers, but it could cost Live Nation millions of dollars and force the company to sell some of its concert venues.
Students with disabilities at Sarah Moore Green Magnet Academy are serving up some smiles through their in-school coffee shop.
Emily Crabtree joins us in the studio with how this cafe is helping students learn some key skills. I just love this. Good morning, Emily.
Good morning, ladies. I love it too. I met with Hayden Muncie and his teacher, Miller Fouch. They tell me the coffee shop not only teaches students new skills, but also brings a little extra joy in the mornings.
So this is the school.
Sarah Moore Green Magnet Academy is brewing up smiles with their in-school coffee shop, The Green Bean.
Well, you see, what we do in The Green Bean is we sell coffee, we deliver them to them, and like teachers, staff, anyone that wants coffee.
The coffee shop is run through the Project Search program. The program helps students with disabilities master skills that can lead to job opportunities.
It is run by Project Search, which is a hands-on transition program within Knox County Schools for students with disabilities in their last year with the school district.
And students in the program say it's been a big help to them.
Project Search it's a great thing to learn to get a job even if you got disabilities. Does that make sense? Because disabilities can be hard. But I'm going to tell everyone that's listening that it's not hard unless you make it that hard.
Teachers tell me the Green Bean is a fun way to teach these students and create a better culture at the school.
The students are then, following a recipe, pulling a shot of espresso, steaming the milk, all the things. And then they deliver, throughout the building, different meetings, different community meetings are held here now. And we're making coffee for those.
And Hayden Muncie says it's helped him with his people skills.
Well, just talking and showing communication skills and all that, and also just helping people with getting this coffee delivered.
Hayden tells me Project Search and the Green Bean even helped him get his first job.
I feel great, some nervous, but I'm actually it's pretty good, pretty positive. Because I know that there's going to be greatness, the great thing's going to happen in my life as it is for everyone else's. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. They're welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So sweet. The school tells me the Green Bean was made possible through grants with Knox County Schools and the Lawson Family Foundation. The staff tells me they love to see students like Hayden reach their goals through this program. Ladies.
A USL League One team just defeated an MLS side in DC United.
Wow. One Knox Soccer Club made history after taking down DC United. This marks just the third time a USL League One team has beat an MLS team. This is the biggest win in the club's history, of course. Well, now One Knox advances to the round of 16 of the 2026 Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup to face another MLS team, the Columbus Crew. And it all comes less than a year after One Knox brought home its first ever USL League championship. Back in November, the team beat Spokane Velocity 2-0. We talked to players at the beginning of this season, and they said they were looking to repeat that championship win again this year.
If all you've ever ate's bad food and then you get a taste of good food, you know. You know what you want from now on. So I think for the guys that have come back, at least there's the hunger to you know, to go and do it again. And then for the guys that weren't here, there's obviously that drive and motivation to be like, man, I want to be able to have a taste of that.
First, the team will return to Covenant Health Park for the first home game in 3 weeks. When Knox will face Charlotte Independence Saturday night. Kickoff is set for 7.
Today, new statues honoring 4 cultural icons with ties to Knoxville will be unveiled at Covenant Health Park. The Beck Cultural Exchange Center says the event will start at 4 this afternoon at the Delaney Plaza. The unveiling will feature 4 new bronze statues, each honoring figures who made major contributions to the city. Leaders have not announced exactly who the statues will honor. With the addition, the stadium will now feature 11 statues. Previous installations include tributes to the Knoxville Giants, the Knoxville Smokies, and early African-American Little League Baseball. Today's event is open to the public. It's going to be a beautiful day to get outside. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, everybody. We're giving you a glimpse over Covenant Health Park where we have the Smokies play. We also have our One Knox team that plays. So lots to look forward to. No games today, but we're getting that much closer to having our teams back here in Knoxville. It's going to be another warm and breezy day here across East Tennessee, even though it is going to be warm and breezy, and we do not have an elevated fire risk per se. That does include us here across East Tennessee. Just don't let your guard down. Rain chances return tonight into tomorrow morning. Feels so good to say that. And then we have another chance for rain that arrives into the weekend. On the backside, we're going to be trending much cooler. So again, we do not have per se the elevated fire risk that is across East Tennessee at this moment. But with that being said, we still have some breezier winds that will be in place, with winds today coming out of the southwest, gusting up to around 20 to 25 miles per hour at times. And then we continue to have the possibility for, as we mentioned, more rain tonight. A little bit of some haziness across the region this morning. You might notice that all the way through the afternoon and evening. Heather and Brittany, will send it back to you.
Rebecca, thank you. In 3 minutes, we will have 3 things to know. The Tennessee men's basketball team is racking up those portal players. We'll take a look at the newest edition.
Plus, progress on a key Knoxville Greenway at 625. We get a look at the changes and when it could reopen.
Then in our next half hour, engineers are working to rebuild after devastating flooding along the Pigeon River. At 6:37, hear how your input could shape those plans.
I hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. Meteorologist Rebecca Sweet here. We're forecasting highs to get back into the middle 80s today. So highs near record breaking, but not going to get quite there. The big story for today is the potential for some rain moving through the region tonight. Can't even tell you how happy this Futurecast model makes me. So some moderate to heavy rain not out of the question as we head into the early hours of your Friday. We'll stay a little bit drier into your Friday and into your Saturday. And then our next cold front arrives into the weekend. This will bring in more rain by Sunday morning, likely getting close to around sunrise. And we'll continue to have some cooler temperatures on the backside of this system. Your 7-day forecast shows highs into the 80s through the weekend, cooler to the early part of next week.
Once you get a taste. Time now coming up on 6:25, and here are 3 things to know before you head out the door this morning. Former UC Berkeley guard Day-Day Ames has officially signed with the Vols. Head coach Rick Barnes says Ames is competitive, coachable, and fits Tennessee's culture. He was 3rd team All-AAC in his junior season. Ames is the 3rd transfer to commit to UT this offseason.
The city of Knoxville says repairs along the James White Parkway Greenway, are moving right on schedule. Crews are working to repair a 400-foot stretch of the Greenway just east of Volunteer Landing. They're adding a new fence, reinforcing the riverbank, and pouring new concrete. City officials say the Greenway is set to reopen sometime next month.
This morning, we're letting you know about healthcare where you are. WBIR partners with Remote Area Medical to keep you informed about resources in your area. And today, RAM is set to host 2 free telehealth clinics. One is at Church Street United Methodist Church in Knoxville, starting at 10 this morning. The second will be in Del Rio, starting at noon. Services are free and on a first-come, first-served basis. Those clinics are open to the public, and you do not need any ID. For more information, you can scan the QR code that you will see here on your screen, and it will take you to RAM's website, where you can find more information about upcoming clinics. Now, we want to check in with Rebecca on this Thursday morning for another check of our forecast.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your Thursday. We're almost to Friday, folks, and we're going to still hold on to some of these milder temperatures, highs into the middle to upper 80s, staying well above average for this time of year. We do have rain showers that'll be possible late tonight and into your Friday. More rain as we go into the weekend. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. More top stories after the break. Lawmakers in Nashville are going back and forth on how to expand the state's school voucher program. What we can expect in today's debates.
Plus, homeowners are caught in the middle of their HOA's dispute with a utility company. At 6:50, we'll hear the fight about internet service that could leave some families scrambling.
Now at 6:30, immigration holds could last longer across Tennessee. How a new bill would extend jail time for people detained.
Plus, it's an event that brings thousands of car lovers to East Tennessee. We'll hear how Pigeon Forge leaders are making sure this year's Rod Run is safe for everyone.
And Knoxville officials are helping you go green by recycling your old glass. How the process works and ways you can participate. Today, Thursday, April 16, 2026.
10 News is sponsored by Quality Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Welcome back, everyone, on this Thursday morning as we give you this live look outside over downtown Knoxville. We're starting to see the skies lighten up a bit, but also, if you notice, you're going to see some haze in the skies once again today.
Well, from some of those wildfires we've seen around the
Yeah,
area.
across East Tennessee. I mean, it's a little bit on the smoky side outside this morning, but no air quality alert, which is good. But if you do have a little bit of a sensitive respiratory issue, I'd probably limit the amount of time that you spend outside. We are going to continue to highlight temperatures this morning, starting off into the 60s. And some good news about all this smoke, folks. We're going to have some relief arrive tonight with rain showers. Oh, feels so good to say the word rain. Rain showers in our forecast as we go throughout the evening hours and into the overnight. Check it out to our west. Here it comes. Oh, I'm so excited. I mean, really, honestly, this is so needed, folks. We're pretty quiet for the most part today. This morning, we do not have an elevated fire risk that is in place, which is great news. But I'm telling you, cautiously, do not let your guard down. We still have dry soil conditions, breezy weather that'll be in place today. So just don't be overly excited about any of that burning. Make sure you're looking and checking with local authorities. Highs today back into the middle 80s. We'll highlight those rain chances we'll see later on tonight. Coming up in just a few minutes. Heather and Brittany.
We'll see you then. Rebecca, thank you. State lawmakers are set to discuss expanding the school voucher program, which uses public money for private school tuition. The governor wants to double the program from 20,000 scholarships to 40,000. Each one is about $7,000 per student. The House passed one version of the bill, while state senators are debating a different version. The House version recommends lowering the expansion to 35,000 scholarships. It would also add more data tracking measures and would change how schools are reimbursed based on students' immigration status. Governor Lee's expansion would cost about $300 million a year total. It's an amount lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are worried about.
I have some serious concerns. And one of the concerns is just simply how are we going to pay for it, not only now, but going forward.
Senator Richard Briggs says he supports school choice, but doesn't know if the budget can handle it. He says key Knox County programs like funding for 20 inpatient beds at the McNabb Center in Knoxville wasn't funded in order to pay for vouchers. Lawmakers in the Senate are set to discuss the program today.
People who are in jail on immigration holds could be held even longer. An amended bill making its way through the state legislature would require certain sheriff's offices to hold immigration detainees for at least 48 hours beyond their normal release dates. Now, this would only apply to agencies that are already part of the 287G program. The Knox County Sheriff's Office is part of that program. Now, the original bill would have applied to all law enforcement agencies. A professor at UT did compile data about immigration holds in 2025. Her research showed that more than 3,000 people were held in the Knox County Jail on immigration holds. Now, back in February, a spokesperson with the sheriff's office originally told us 964 people had been detained that year, but then later sent us updated figures. Those new numbers showed that around 3,500 people were detained, while around 400 people were placed on immigration holds. If the amended bill is passed, it would go into effect July 1st. Well, today, car lovers will be swarming parts of East Tennessee for the annual Rod Run. That event is held in Pigeon Forge each spring and fall.
But the event also brings up safety concerns across the city. During the last spring Rod Run, Pigeon Forge police arrested more than 70 people. They responded to more than 40 car crashes and responded to 1,100 calls. Last year, city officials estimated about 100,000 people would pass through the area over the weekend, which is why safety and security is their top priority.
So that all hands are on deck. We bring in lots of other people. THP will be here, the Tennessee Highway Patrol, as well as Blount County will be in attendance with us.
As always, traffic will be heavy in Pigeon Forge. The city officials say to find alternate routes. Police are asking you to plan ahead, be patient, and watch for pedestrians. Rod Run will go until Sunday at the LeConte Center. And if you're looking for other fun events this weekend, you can listen to our 10 About Town podcast, which highlights different festivities happening around East Tennessee. Our podcast can be found on our streaming app, WBIR Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. For now, we send it over to Rebecca. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. We're giving you a glimpse over Market Square this morning, where we do have some of the leftover chalk from the chalk walk that we had this last weekend. Enjoy it today, folks, because rain showers moving through tonight may make it look a little different come tomorrow morning. Sunrise this morning at 7:01. We are going to continue to see a partly cloudy sky as the day moves forward. And guess what? The chance for rain is in the forecast, primarily more so as we go into the evening hours and then later tonight and into the early hours of your Friday. At this point, folks, we'll take any kind of precipitation that we can get, but it's certainly going to be nice to have some of those rain showers making their way into the region. We'll be a little bit drier as we go into your Friday and into your Saturday. Another chance for rain, along with cooler temperatures as we go into the weekend. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. One Knox County school is teaching life skills while serving up smiles. The Green Bean Coffee Shop at Sarah Moore Green Magnet Academy helps give hands-on job experience to students with disabilities.
Emily Crabtree stopped by the school to learn more about that program, and we have been so enjoying learning more about it as well this morning, Emily.
Yeah, it's a great... Say while having a coffee shop right down the hall is a plus, they love getting to help teach students real-world skills. The Green Bean is part of the Project Search program with Knox County Schools. The program helps students with disabilities master skills that can lead to job opportunities. Hayden Muncie is one of the students working at the Green Bean, and he tells me the job taught him many different skills, including independence.
The Green Bean is very good. It is good because you get to learn to make coffee. You get to be independent with that, if that makes any sense. And yeah, it's just being independent. It's part of being independent too, because sometimes they don't need to help you. You might know how to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Hayden tells me these skills even helped him land his first job. He just started working as a courtesy clerk at the Food City in Halls. Now, school leaders say the Green Bean was made possible through grants with Knox County Schools and the Lawson Family Foundation, and has just been a great addition to their school. But for now, Brittany, Heather, I'll send it back to you.
Engineers want to hear from you on how to make the Pigeon River watershed safer. This all comes after historic flooding from Helene eroded parts of the river and caused portions of I-40 to collapse. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is creating a multi-year study. Officials say it is meant to find effective, affordable, and environmentally responsible solutions to reduce the flood risk to homes, businesses, and to help public safety. The Nashville district will hold a public meeting Wednesday, May 6th. That meeting will be in Waynesville, North Carolina, around 5:30 that night. You also, though, can submit comments online through May 15th. To submit your comments, you can head to our website, WBIR.com.
Is that the work isn't done. There's still so many needs left, and there's so many needs for more donations.
$1 million is headed to Cobb County for long-term recovery efforts after Helene. Helene did make landfall as a Category 4 hurricane in Florida September 24th, 2024, and then it brought intense winds, devastating flooding to parts of East Tennessee in the days that followed.
Since then, the people of Cobb County have been working to repair and rebuild what they can, thanks to donations from across the state. Leaders with the Boyd Foundation say they're letting local leaders decide how the money's spent based on what the community needs most. Officials say the money will support Phase 3 of recovery, which is to be prepared for the next disaster, and support the county's volunteer fire departments. The money will also help farmers and businesses.
New this morning, recycling in Knoxville is free for many people, but doing it correctly is really the key to making sure that it actually works. City leaders say that common mistakes can lead to recyclable items ending up in the landfill.
Sarah Ottman joins us in the studio with everything you need to know so your materials actually end up recycled. Sarah, good morning.
Good morning, Heather, Brittany. If you live in Knoxville city limits and have a city trash service, you can also get a recycling cart at no additional cost. But officials say participation and proper use are both critical to keeping the system effective. One of the biggest misconceptions is that recycling doesn't actually happen, but the city says that's not true. Materials collected here are sent to regional companies that reuse them, but only if they're sorted correctly and not contaminated.
I promise you, if it was all going to a landfill, we would not have it. It does cost money. You know, it's worth it. It's important for us to recycle, and that's why we believe in it and exists. Make sure that it's a program that we offer.
When it comes to contamination rate, Knoxville is only sitting at a 17%, which is better than the national average of 25%, according to the city's waste management. This number is when a non-recyclable item is placed in the bin, contaminating items that are recyclable.
the #1 contaminant in our recycling stream that people are routinely putting in our recycling that they should not be is going to be plastic bags and plastic film. So those materials are not recyclable in Knoxville's recycling program. That's actually the case mostly across the entire country.
According to Mackenzie Reed with Waste Management, there are more than 60,000 eligible households that are eligible to participate in the city's recycling program, but only a little over half of them actually do have a city recycling cart. If you live in Knoxville city limits, you can get a free bin to recycle right on your curb. For now, Brittany, Heather, I'll send it back to you.
All right, Sarah, thank you so much. And we have more top stories for you as you rush out the door. A former La Follette police officer is facing charges after officials say he threw an explosive at a homeowner. We're breaking down the grand jury's indictment.
Plus, some Knox County homeowners say they got a sudden warning about their internet from their homeowners association. At 6:50, we break down the clash between their HOA and a local utility company.
And we're tracking the potential for some rain showers making their way into the region tonight. Much needed precipitation. We'll highlight the timing of this with your Futurecast coming up.
This morning on the 3rd hour of Today, Nick Kroll joins us live in Studio 1A. Plus, from the pit, actress Sapita Mawafi is here. And must-have products for spring on this morning's hot list. That's all coming up this morning on the 3rd hour of Today.
Good morning, everybody. The time is 6:44. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your Thursday morning as we get you outside. We're giving you a glimpse of your bus stop weather, which I just think this picture is so pretty. We were all oohing and awing about how cute these girls look. This was shared to us by Jessica Beck Stubbs. I think they're competing in a pageant, but they look beautiful, and it's also that time of year getting close to prom. So I know we'll be seeing a lot more of these pretty dresses on social media as well. So Jessica, thanks for sharing that picture. If you still have a case of the sniffles, we do have the latest pollen report. I just heard Heather sneeze. We do have trees at the very high category: oak, mulberry, cedar, and sycamore. Grass is in the low category. Mold is moderate. And I'm hoping, folks, that if we can see some rain showers tonight, this will kind of start to help alleviate perhaps some of those issues you may be having. We do not have an elevated fire risk across East Tennessee today, which is just wonderful. Relative humidity is going to be up just a little bit. But with that being said, folks, please don't let your guard down. Winds are still going to be breezy out of the southwest, and we're still going to see some very dry soil conditions. So yeah, just be smart. Don't necessarily jump right into it. We'll continue to have much more as we look ahead to your extended forecast and highlight these rain chances coming up. For now, we want to get you out on the roads with a check of your TDOT cameras. Drive times in the green as you head outside with no major slowdowns here locally. So far, everything here across East Tennessee is smooth and steady. Heather and Brittany.
Rebecca, thank you. It is 6:46 now, and as you rush out the door this morning, here are some of the stories you're talking about this morning. A grand jury indicted a former La Follette police officer on official misconduct in influencing a witness charges. Authorities say in January of 2024, Isaiah Lloyd concealed his identity, broke into a home, and vandalized the property. Investigators say when the homeowner confronted Lloyd, Lloyd threw a homemade explosive device and then left. The district attorney says Lloyd also influenced a witness to withhold information about an investigation happening around that same time. Lloyd is scheduled to return to court in May.
A Knox County grand jury indicted a Knoxville teen with first-degree murder in the stabbing death of a 13-year-old girl. Savannah Copeland was killed in Powell back in October 2024 off a popular trail near Powell High School. Court testimony revealed Savannah left her house to meet Malachi Harris and his younger brother so she could get a vape. An autopsy revealed she was stabbed more than 90 times. Harris also faces charges of evidence tampering.
The Food and Drug Administration is recalling a popular anxiety medication. On April 8th, the pharmaceutical company recalled bottles of Xanax because they did not perform well in dissolving tests. That means the medication could be less effective. Officials say the recall only affects certain bottles.
After 2 seasons at UT, a former Big Orange player will be with a different team. Bishop Boswell has committed to Maryland to play for head coach Buzz Williams. Boswell is the third player to announce his transfer destination. Forward JP Estrella is transferring to Michigan, and forward Jalen Carey is transferring to Missouri.
One Knox Soccer Club just had the biggest win in club history, beating the MLS team DC United. One Knox secured that win in a penalty shootout. This is only the third time a USL League One team has beat a major league team. One Knox now advances to the next round.
And you can welcome them back home this Saturday as they face off with the Charlotte Independence at Covenant Health Park.
And it is
amazing.
Such a big deal. Again, biggest win in the One Knox soccer history. Only the third time this has ever happened. And I love that next, facing off against the Columbus Crew, my hometown team. But I will be for sure cheering on One Knox. Don't you worry.
It has been so fun to watch them in this first year. So that's the Rush Out. Remember, you can follow us on social media for news updates throughout the day. For now, we send it over to Rebecca. Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Well, we're giving you a glimpse of your 3-day forecast where it looks, well, again, warm, highs into the middle to upper 80s all the way through the end of the work week. But what I love about this forecast is that we are featuring some rain chances. Oh, so nice. You can see some of those scattered showers off to our west. It's pretty quiet this morning as you head outside. We do have fairly dry conditions. You might even notice some haziness from some of those wildfires across our region, so just be prepared for that. Elevated fire risk is primarily off to our east, but even though we don't have per se that elevated fire risk that includes us, I just don't want you to let your guard down. We still have dry soil conditions. We're still going to have breezy weather with winds out of the southwest, so And there's still concerns in place today. And the Storm Prediction Center highlighting our viewing area under a level 1 risk. If we were to see any stronger storms tonight, which chances are kind of low, I'd say that gusty winds will be primarily the biggest concern. We are going to have some rain showers moving through late tonight, early tomorrow morning. Much needed precipitation pushing through the region. On the backside of this system, we're going to stay fairly dry into your Friday and into your Saturday. And then Saturday night and into your Sunday, here comes another cold front. And this cold front is going to bring in another chance for rain, as well as some big changes to our temperatures next week. So rain chances, again, they're going to stay and hold off until late Saturday night, early Sunday. Light to moderate rain will push through the region. And then on the back side of this system, we dry out and we cool down with highs closer to near average. Heather and Brittany will send things back to you.
Rebecca, thank you. Some homeowners in Knox County are now in the middle of a clash between their homeowners association and the Knoxville Utilities Board. Some neighbors did reach out to us after the association sent cease and desist letters through email for using KUB fiber.
Lauren Levitt talked with the homeowners and how it connects to their original contracts.
It's a dispute between two companies, leaving some homeowners seemingly stuck in the middle.
We heard rumblings from the sales folks that there was some kind of big argument that Smith Built had with KUB. Thought nothing of it, and then when we went to closing, suddenly they demanded that we sign an amendment to the contract at the very last second, or we wouldn't get the house, basically.
Chris Hill has lived in Belltown for around 6 months. His home is connected to KUB fiber and seemed that it would remain that way. Until now.
They've most recently sent a cease and desist order demanding that we provide intent to discontinue service with KUB within 5 days. The other fiber option, Frontier, is not even in the neighborhood yet, and we've all had issues with Xfinity.
We reached out to Smith Built. In a statement, they said months after a complete electric design was delivered, KUB asked for more money to upgrade the power grid and install fiber. The developer complied, saying Belltown was in jeopardy. Then they restricted use, saying, quote, "Homeowners are by no means harmed in this response, as we have negotiated a better deal for the homeowners using Xfinity." Furthermore, this restriction was fully disclosed in CCRs and every contract between Smith Built and each homeowner. KUB also shared a statement saying the notice they recently received from the HOA did not provide a reason for the prohibition, saying, quote, "KUB looks forward to seeing this issue resolved, and KUB is unaware of any monetary dispute that would impact KUB fiber access for Belltown residents." Hill says he and around 20 other homeowners do not intend to comply with the letter.
Several of our fellow homeowners that have kind of banded together, myself included, work from home. Several others rely on their internet service for their security system, and they have small children, and that's a big concern.
The letter says homeowners have 5 days from the date of the letter to comply.
Homeowners say that the email was sent April 9th, but they didn't get a certified letter in the mail until Tuesday. Well, coming up later today on 10 About Town, at this month's Alzheimer's Tennessee Walk, you won't just see people taking part. We will introduce you to a therapy dog and a therapy cat who will provide comfort and cuddles for people living with that disease. That's coming up this afternoon at 4 on 10 About Town.
And coming up tomorrow morning on 10 News Today, in the age of all things digital, physical media is making a major comeback. Join us tomorrow morning starting at 4:27 as we follow the trend of going retro. More weather right after the break.
Good morning, everybody. Giving you one final glimpse of your 7-day forecast. We're going to continue to have temperatures staying above average as we get closer to the end of the work week and as we go into the weekend. I love the fact that we're going to have 80s, but I also like the fact that we're going to see the potential for some spotty showers in our forecast as early as tonight and into tomorrow morning. Next week will trend a little bit cooler, so ladies, you might have to pull out those long sleeves, those light jackets all over again as we go into your Monday.
Hi, I'm Theo. Hi, I'm Catherine. We are excited to be this week's mini meteorologists. See you soon.
Aww. These are the Sadowski siblings, and they're going to be joining us tomorrow as our newest mini meteorologists. I cannot wait for everyone to get a chance to meet them. They just seem like they have the best personalities.
Oh, they seem like a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to need to make room on the desk and over there.
Like
3 of them.
And I was like, I mean, you can't
Why not?
have one sibling doing it, not the other.
That's
so
right.
Awesome. All right, and if your child loves weather, here's the QR code. Get them signed up.
Rebecca, thank you so much. And thanks for watching, everyone. We hope you have a wonderful Thursday.